why don't you tell them your age?
Oh, I'm 19.
You're 19, and okay, you went through a lot of trials and tribulation, because I don't like to call them problems. I like to say challenges, because this is how I see life, as a challenge, because everything is energy, and when you say problems, it feels heavy. When you say challenge, you feel a movement.
It feels like there's something to overcome,
Yeah,
right?
because when people keep claiming problem, that's why they get stuck in it. So what was, because you're a young mother.
Yeah, that too. That's a lot. Throughout the years, so many things happen in my home life, as far as my mother's concerned, and the lack of support from her and my brothers and my sisters. And I actually relied on the street, and everybody knows the street is no good. So
Thank you.
yeah, I ventured off in the street. I was living a very self-destructive life.
Wow.
And I just had to wake up. One day I just got tired, and I started getting back on track, and I started exploring myself. And actually, my 9th grade year in high school was the best thing that ever happened to me, because I met my English teacher, Emily Warren, and she woke me up into my deeper side of writing. And I started understanding myself, and I found a passion in writing and just communicating with people. And I had a soft spot that I never knew I had. And I let go of a lot of anger. I was full of anger, and it was paralyzing my growth. And I'm still growing out of it, and I'm still understanding and overcoming, and yeah.
Okay, so what do you feel about spirituality? Because I'm all about spirituality versus religion, because we have spoke about both when we started interacting about a year now. It's over a year ago.
I think that religion is a trap. I'm going to be very honest. To me, it's a complete trap, because they have you come back to this one place. They keep you in one same vibration, making it seem like Jesus is going to come down and save you from all your troubles. But they don't allow these people to put in the work. You know what I mean? And to me, it's all for monetary purposes. If you keep somebody entrapped and incarcerated within their own mind,
thank you.
Come on now. Now versus spirituality, it's getting down to yourself, to the psychology of who you are, growing within you. You know what I mean? And people forget that. We lost that connection. We forgot to ask ourselves why it is that we feel the way we feel. What can I do to help me? What do I need in order to, to get to where I need to be, to help humanity? And a lot of people also, they're walking around with the false egos, as you always mention. It's true. They're walking around with these egos like they're superheroes because they have a certain amount of money, or they're working in a certain field. That doesn't mean anything. And as you stress often, that if you don't know yourself, then you don't know anything.
Thank you.
And that's it. And you also stressed, you're one of my greatest teachers, like you really are. You also stress that if you don't get to the bottom and the root of the core of your problems, you're not getting anywhere. And it goes back, it entails to knowing why you feel the way you do. So,
well, this is what I was explaining to you. It has a lot to do with the unconscious mind. So a lot of people don't even know what is the unconscious mind and how do it, operates.
right.
So you can think you feel one way about something and unconscious feeling totally the opposite. And this is why people attract things that they say, I don't want this.
Right.
But it's called law of attraction.
Right.
You have to be on the vibration. So people think of it on a physical level. Well, consciously, this is what I like. And then they attract a friend who betrayed them, a mate who betrayed them. So they say, but I love myself. But when you look at the mirror, because people are your mirror, especially if you got an attitude about the way you respond to them. And when you hold on, they're showing you something about you. And the thing about it, it's unconscious. So that means you're not even conscious of it. You're not aware of it. And we had that talk this week about the incident, and you wasn't conscious. Why was you doing what you was doing?
Can we talk about the incident?
Yeah, you.
Great. So my library card. I keep losing my library card. In fact, I went to the library 2 days ago, and actually I went for 2 days in a row. The day before I had gotten a new library card, and then the day after suddenly it's reported lost or I need to get a new one. I know, right? So it's like, you know, it doesn't make any sense. Why am I still losing my library card? I put it, I put it in the safe place and I just can't find it. So you express to me that perhaps it's because I am attached to the stress, because I'm so used to the stress. And I started making connections with other things in my life, why it is that I do the things that I do. And everything starts making more sense. I mean, we have to ask ourselves, why do we do what we do? Why do I feel comfortable in this sense? Why do I indulge this? And it boils down to the simplest things. Why do I like wearing black often? Why do I eat this? How does this make me feel? And if we continue to, forget that, we're going to erode slowly. And we're going to die indefinitely, in the spirit, of course.
Oh, yeah.
So.
Well, most people are already spiritually dead. This is what the whole ascension is about. It's about waking up. The guest that was, with the one block, one village, one voice. When you came out, you did the poem and you just rocked the house. You tore it down. Very emotional, very positive, with a lot of meaning, because the whole thing is coming back to the soul. Not that it's gone.
Right.
We just disconnect from it. And this is what, because we got caught up on external, the religion out there, the God out there.
What saddens me is that I realize that people my age, they don't even understand what it is to have a soul. They don't grasp the understanding of it. They don't get it. And it's sad because, I question things and I ask them, so how do you feel about this? And they cannot tell you. They do not know. And it's so sad because it's like, I ask them, you mean to tell me that you don't feel no way about this? And they just go on living they're not even living. They just keep on existing, as you call it. Yeah, they just keep existing on with their lives. And it's like, all for what? What is your purpose? What are you grasping? What kind of understanding are you coming to? You're getting older. These are, there's certain things that you have to consider. You have to grow into certain understanding. Please open your eyes.
Oh, go ahead, girl.
Yeah, because it's about that time. It's about that time that we open our eyes as a humanity. I was telling a friend of mine the other day who had, he exposed his son to a whole bunch of drinking men. And I asked him, I was like, well, why would you do that? All it takes is 3 seconds for him to grasp an understanding of something and live it and do it, And then what you're going to do? Then you want to beat him? You want to kill him? You want to tell him that he's wrong? And then what? Then you're pushing him down further. But you started it to begin with. Yeah. So how can you be mad for something that you started? I don't understand parents these days. My mother tends to do that. And, I'm still working with her and loving her and trying to love her and trying to be a better daughter and understand why she does the things she does. And the more I begin to understand and question myself, it starts making sense. Look at her childhood, the experiences she had. How can I blame her for going through certain experiences, for being exposed to certain things?
But maybe about a year ago, my experience with my dysfunctional family, and when God's child was here, because he went into
he's great.
His dysfunctional family, and how it really, because he got caught out there in the street for a short while, not having a father in his life, and mother working, he said 3 jobs, raising 2 boys or 3 boys. And she was all stressed out, doing the best she can, but like we was explaining to mothers, we do a lot of damage to our children unconsciously sometimes. Because sometimes parents know what they're doing.
You know, I also feel like it's time that if you recognize that something is wrong,
To change it.
yes.
Yes.
You know, change it, be better, fix it. If something is broken, fix it. It's like if you break a plate, you try to glue it together so that it can work. Why not do the same thing? What is the problem? Stop complaining and just do what you have to do.
Yeah, but we go back to the teaching. If I was damaged as a young girl and my mother and my father wasn't there to fix me, to support me, to nurture me, and, you know, to work through whatever damage that was caused, because nobody helped them work through the damage that was. We passed this stuff down from generation to generation, and nobody want to be accountable, and nobody want to be responsible. That's why it's so widespread and so deep and painful. So this is why so many people are in so much pain. When I do the workshop in Connecticut at the homeless shelter, and I was just dealing with the men, and it was like 40 men, and you could see that they were in so much pain. And, you know, and men don't open up as quickly as females.
Right.
But a couple of the men, which really surprised the staff, they did open up and they shared some stuff. And because I was explaining to them, you acting out one way that is not good and is destructive towards you, and you're hurting other people. Where is it coming from?
Right, trying to burn out what's within, right?
Yeah. So when I explained to them the process that is unconscious, and when I was able to break that down to them and went back to a childhood, an incident,
It started making more sense, started connecting.
Because one of the guys, and he was, I think, in the homeless shelter now for maybe a year or two.
Right.
College degree and everything, good family. You know, when we say good family, you know, they had the basic. Because a lot of time, parents think, long as I fed you and you got a roof over your head and some clothes, that's it.
Well, I believe that in a sense is partially true, but what they forget to say within the same statement is that you're supposed to feed yourself as well. You're supposed to want, and you know, you're supposed to want to grow and learn. If you have these abilities, you're gonna be fine. Because just because it became from a destructive home doesn't mean I have to follow the cycle.
But that's the whole point of doing the show, because a lot of times we fall into it. And many times it's unconscious. Somebody told me one day, I did a lecture, and this lady, she said all her life, that was her biggest fear, of not becoming her mother. And she said over the years with her children, when she reflect back, she said, I became my mother. Wasn't conscious of it. She said, I was yelling at them.
Yeah.
I wasn't hugging them and nurturing them and smacking them, shut up.
Often we become the people that we despise.
Thank you. But she wasn't aware she became her. That's why you have to really take time, reflect back at self. And the more you knowledge things, whether you call them good or bad, you can work on them. And you can empower yourself, because, well, you read my book, so you know I had a dysfunctional
Your book was
family.
Fantastic.
You know?
I like the breakdown of it. I like the simplicity of it all, especially the quotes. Because if you don't understand anything that just happened in the paragraph, that quote will sum it up for you.
Well, hold the book up. Let them know what book you're talking about.
The book without a name. You read it, you name it. This book is fantastic. First of all, if you see this somewhere, somebody has to buy it, because look at the cover. It calls your attention.
Yeah.
If it doesn't connect you to nature immediately, then I don't know where you are in your mind. But there's this one quote here that I really, really like. Let's see. It's my favorite quote. Oh, well, we could reflect on this one as well. Behold, the kingdom of God is within you.